They were just hanging out in your child's room with the door closed, in the bed, half dressed.
This tape that's being shopped around, a Diddy and another mill, they say the other mill is an A-list celebrity.
And there's a few I can come up with. Will Smith.
Gene Deal emphasized that Will and Jada were not outsiders looking in. They allegedly moved within the same elite social circles as Diddy for years, attending the same private parties, occupying the same exclusive rooms of power, and existing within the same tightly controlled industry environment. According to multiple insiders, this was a world where disturbing behavior allegedly took place beyond public view. When the discussion turned to whether Diddy's associates extended beyond the black entertainment world, Gene suggested that made perfect sense, noting that Diddy was deeply connected to high-level Hollywood figures across multiple industries.
We were at a birthday party that I think either Matt Damien was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering. It was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damien, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, and they was sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and and did his own some kind of way, and then he was like this, like that. I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close, because I'm going to snuff him." I said to myself, Will Smith gonna beat the shit out you. No, Puff could scrap now, but I don't think he could beat Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Well, he can scrap. You know what I'm saying? So then he said that shit. So I didn't go back over there where Will Smith's sister and her husband was. I stayed about, if he snuffed Will, I could move slow enough that Will could probably get 2 or 3 punches back in. Yeah, but that shit was funny. He thought that Jada and Will was coming on too strong to Jennifer, making advances.
In her account, Diddy was never operating alone. She describes a network of facilitators, executives, mentors, parents, and celebrity families who allegedly enabled access, ignored red flags, and normalized harmful environments. In Jaguar Wright's view, Will and Jada Smith were not passive observers in that world. They were trusted insiders. Now that Diddy's alleged activities are under intense legal scrutiny, she believes the spotlight is finally expanding to include those who protected him and fed vulnerable young talent into his orbit. The question many now ask is whether figures like Bratcher Gray and Jaden Smith will ever receive justice. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.
So many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
yes,
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
Tensions reportedly escalated when Bilal publicly challenged Jada. He claimed that he warned her he would release damaging information if she did not take legal action against him. When no lawsuit was filed, Bilal alleged that he followed through by initiating legal action himself. Shortly after these events, he reportedly left the United States, a move that raised even more questions among observers.
It's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business.
Yeah.
But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided.
I was done with your ass.
Kicked me to
I
the
was
curb.
done with you.
Yeah. We
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
Some of the most disturbing allegations have come from outspoken critics like Jaguarite. She has publicly claimed, without legal confirmation, that Will Smith preyed on Jaden. Even more shocking, she suggests that there's supposed public evidence of this behavior, allegedly visible during televised appearances. These claims remain unproven, but have nonetheless fueled intense debate and outrage.
Medicine 10 years ago to deal with my depression, and it knocked it out.
Against this backdrop, it has been widely reported that Jaden Smith allegedly moved out of his parents' home and legally separated himself from them at a relatively young age. While the exact details remain private, many people online have asked a pointed question. Why would a son feel the need to legally distance himself from his own parents unless something deeply troubling was happening behind closed doors?
What it does, unlike just going to therapy and putting people on Prozac, right? Which I did that too.
Which that is not successful for so many people.
And that's the thing. So for me, I had struggled with depression for so long. You know, I mean, crippling depression. So the thing about the plant medicine is that not only does it help you feel better, but it helps you solve the problems of how you got there in the first place.
It was always in my head talking, telling me what I was and what I wasn't. And for the first time, I had like a ego dissolution where I was like, that was the moment that really changed me. You get to a place in your life where you're blocked by something, whether it's a trauma, whether it's your emotions, your ego, not being able to express yourself. And then I feel like psychedelics are a way to tear down that wall and see what's beyond it. Doing it guided with people that are professionals, I feel like really increases the chances of having that mystical experience.
That story only intensified broader public discussions about Will and Jada's highly unconventional marriage. Over the years, Jada herself has acknowledged that their relationship did not follow traditional norms. In her memoir, she revealed that she and Will had actually separated privately as early as 2016, long before the public had any idea their marriage was in trouble. According to her, this separation remained hidden from the outside world while they continued to present a united front publicly.
Yes. What are you saving for?
I'm gonna buy my parents' house.
You're going to buy your parents' house from them?
From them, yes.
Okay. Will they then stay there with you?
No, I'm gonna give them a little apartment.
Will that be like in the backyard, or where will the apartment?
Throughout her commentary, Jaguar repeatedly returns to the same argument. This is what happens in elite circles where the rules are different. In these spaces, figures like Diddy are allegedly protected, and people like Jada move comfortably. Behaviors that would deeply alarm ordinary families are reframed as personal growth, freedom of expression, or artistic exploration.
There's there's a distance in terms of affection showing between the general and the son.
Absolutely.
Is it like that at home or no?
Nah,
Nah,
not really.
we're
Not
very
really.
affectionate.
Have you ever
We're very affectionate.
He tried to kiss me in the
have you ever kissed your son on Thai television before?
You're not looking kiss
Can
my
you kiss
son.
your on Thai
I can
television?
kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Are you okay?
Will Smith later elaborated on their mindset, explaining that neither he nor Jada believed it was their responsibility to make the other person happy. Instead, each individual was expected to find personal fulfillment independently and then come together from that place. He emphasized that divorce was never their intention. Rather, they committed to staying together regardless of how difficult or uncomfortable the process became. In interviews connected to his memoir and a GQ cover story, Will admitted that both he and Jada had explored other relationships at different points in their marriage. Because of these admissions, some critics and online commentators have gone much further, speculating without verified proof that the couple lived an extreme or deviant lifestyle. These speculations include claims about participation in so-called freak-offs and accusations of exploiting and emotionally damaging others, topics that are often promised to be discussed later in long-form commentary. The public was already aware of Jada's relationship with singer August Alsina, which he openly addressed on Red Table Talk in 2020.
Somebody stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house. So now we get into why she's even more mad. Jada will watch at the houses. She had her laptop. She would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. And she could play whatever video she watching. So I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of other, some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm gonna let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm going to sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do, period. And I got to have evidence. So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, high as a kite, right? Not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes. I saw them, and I saw some things that were unreal, and I saw celebrities.
Bilal went on to allege that troubling behavior involving Jada Smith contributed directly to Jaden's decision to seek legal independence from his parents at such a young age. According to him, this was not a rebellious phase, but a desperate attempt to escape an unhealthy situation.
You aired that last interview of me tearing Jada to pieces.
That was insane.
Yes.
I felt uncomfortable because I was like, I don't know what this beef is.
Yeah. Well,
You called her a dope fiend.
Yeah, I called her bald-headed dope fiend without question. I told her she better sue me because
she said to TMZ when they asked her when she left the Breakfast Club.
Yes.
She looked. They was like, well, what do you got to say? And she was like, we're suing. And I was just like, okay.
Right.
That's been about 2 years.
Yeah,
and we haven't gotten a lawsuit yet.
No.
Yeah, the only person we got sued by during that year was Kevin Hart.
And I was involved with that, which was crazy.
And that lawsuit is nowhere to be found.
Right, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
right. So,
absolutely, with no merit. So what's crazy is that Jada did the Breakfast Club, just for people who don't know or want to go back and see it, because it's been 2 years since I've been seen or heard of or anything.
Yeah.
Jada responded to your first global, the first global interview that I did with you.
That was a global interview.
Yes, it went all over the world.
It was in Arabic, I saw it.
Yeah, it's India, everywhere. So I talked for 2 hours.
Okay.
And I said some pretty, what some people may think to be outrageous things, but I knew them to be true and had the evidence to be, to show that it was true. So from that, that's when Jada responded out of anger, not out of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because for her to be a global iconic superstar, you rushed to the Breakfast Club to say, number one, that I extorted you. There was a money shakedown. You said you didn't have all the facts. So that puts you in legal jeopardy right now. You said all the facts will come out. None of the facts came out, right? So now you, Will, and yourself are in legal jeopardy. Her lawyer sends me a cease and desist letter, which I had to report him to the bar.
He further stated that ongoing legal cases involving Will and Jada limited what he could safely discuss in public. However, he hinted that these restrictions would not apply to what he intended to reveal in writing. Perhaps the most alarming claim of all was his allegation that Jada attempted to have him silenced permanently, drawing comparisons to the way Diddy has been accused of dealing with perceived enemies.
After that, there was, they reached out to me through many people, one being Charles Austin, aka Charlie Mack, the federal informant. And he reached out to me through a friend, right? One of my best friends.
Charlie Mack, is that the one that I believe, and I want to say allegedly, okay? Mm-hmm. Everything's alleged, even my name's alleged. It was alleged that he had touched Jaden, Will Smith's Charlie Mack, his best friend?
Yeah, that's been alleged, yes. Yes, that has been alleged, that he's I can't say that word on here. PDF file, let's say this.
Okay, and that's the reason why Jaden wanted to be emancipated, allegedly from his...
Well, the fact that figures like Justin Bieber, Will Smith, and Diddy all cross paths in private industry spaces has only deepened public concern. This is where Jaguar Wright's accusations take center stage. She has long argued that Jada's influence over Will was part of a much larger power structure. According to her, Jada was deeply embedded in the same elite networks as Diddy, where shocking behavior was normalized behind closed doors. When discussing the Chris Rock Oscars incident, Jaguar claimed Will initially laughed at the joke like everyone else. She alleged that what truly triggered his reaction was Jada's visible displeasure.
Fernando that would drive me around. You know, in Colombia, everything's cheap. So he'd drive me around, run errands, do everything that I need to do. Kind of like an assistant, right? So we're pulling up to my apartment in Colombia. And when I pull up to my apartment in Colombia, there are a bunch of guys with two guys with black pants and white shirt, Scientologist outfits, right? Not saying they're Scientologists, who knows? Right? And then there was another guy who I found out to be a private investigator, and they were by my house. So I told him to drive past, right? So he drove past, he parked. And I'm like, damn, why are they in front of my house? But the crazy thing before that, somebody sent a picture of the front of my door in my apartment and texted to me from a number, right? With nothing. So I put two to two together. I'm like, damn, they might be out to get me, right? So we're driving one afternoon, and while we're driving through that afternoon, a car pulled up with a guy with a mask on, right? And tries to run my boy off the road. So he's trying to not, because in Colombia, you have a lot of freeway parts, but you also have a part like there's no barriers. So you could, somebody make a wrong turn, you down there.
Because it's mountainous.
Yeah, so the car is, so my assistant trying to hitting the other car so we don't go on the barrier. So the guy put the gas on, boom, right? One of the people that I saw, even with the mask, I'm able to see it was one of the people that was at my apartment. So we rolled down the embankment, right? Glass breaking, everything. Like I could hear oh man, it was bad, right? So by the time I get myself together, I look over, my man got a big piece of glass like this stuck in his head, right? It's about this long, because the windshield broke when we was tumbling down. So finally the police came, the ambulance came, they took me to the doctor. So now my back is messed up, I gotta have black surgery, and then my knee. I have to have knee surgery, yeah.
According to additional allegations, the Smiths' behavior did not allegedly affect only their own children. Will Smith's former close friend has made deeply unsettling claims about the couple, alleging that they preyed on vulnerable men and fostered an inappropriate and harmful environment for minor children inside their home. These statements, while not substantiated in court, have added to the growing cloud of suspicion surrounding the family.
Just being shopped around a Diddy and another male. They say the other male is an A-list celebrity.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, is only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith, he's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy, that's black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that black, that Rat Pack. And I don't want to even say their names, but they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner? What's the other guy? Leonardo? Yeah, his name. That I don't keep up with these cats. But I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there of other people too with him. And him doing some things with some other people. So it's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing. And I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they're really true. Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy.
Jada Pinkett Smith's public unraveling, according to many online commentators, did not happen overnight or without warning. Critics argue it was a result of years of mounting pressure, unresolved controversies, and alleged connections that were largely overlooked until federal scrutiny began shifting attention onto powerful industry figures. Street talk intensified when Sean Diddy Combs started facing serious legal pressure, and longtime associate Gene Deal began sharing stories that caused people to reassess past events through a much darker lens. There are now unverified claims circulating that Jada, along with her husband Will Smith, may be under scrutiny for alleged past ties to Diddy's alleged criminal network. These rumors also reference alleged abuse involving figures such as Bratcher Gray, Jada Smith, and even Jennifer Lopez. One of the earliest stories people point to involves Jennifer Lopez. The claim suggests that during the period when Diddy and Lopez were dating, Diddy believed Will and Jada were making advances toward her, creating such intense tension that he reportedly feared a physical confrontation might occur.
Do you believe the guy in the tape is white?
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber.
What many critics argue makes the situation even more disturbing is the claim that the Smiths' alleged victims extend beyond their immediate family. According to these voices, Will Smith has never fully acknowledged or taken responsibility for the young people who were allegedly harmed while under his influence, protection, or mentorship.
No, something didn't make him snap anything. He laughed at that bad joke that Chris said like everybody else. And then Jada looked at him and it was like the Manchurian Candidate.
Not the Manchurian. Not the Manchurian. God damn it.
That's what the happened.
I thought there's a legion of women who said, I'm glad for Will fighting for his woman.
Yeah, because they still want to believe that that sham of a marriage is real.
Oh. Well, there you go.
He ain't never going to be Tupac, and she proved it when she August South.
Red Table Talk became widely known for its unfiltered discussions, and later episodes sparked further controversy, particularly those involving Jaden Smith. On the show, Jada shared that she had introduced Jaden to alternative mental health approaches years earlier while she herself was struggling with depression. Jaden explained that his curiosity led him to research plant-based treatments that some proponents believe assist with emotional healing. Critics were quick to point out that plant-based therapies often refers to psychedelic substances. Detractors went as far as accusing Jada of irresponsibly exposing her son to drugs at a young age, framing the situation in the most alarming way possible.
Then there was the moment on social media. She was 13 with a 22-year-old man in her bed.
Saw that.
It's no big deal. They were just hanging out. I got 3 questions to ask about that.
1.
13, 22. Appropriate or inappropriate?
Inappropriate.
Alone, appropriate or inappropriate?
Inappropriate.
In your child's room, appropriate or inappropriate?
Definitely inappropriate.
Part B to that. In your child's room with the door closed, in the bed, half dressed.
Grab the shotgun.
On social media.
Hell no.
Who took that picture? That's
Who did?
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
We cutting off our hair.
Red flags.
We laid up with old niggas.
Yeah.
That's an old
Yeah.
When she was born, he was probably already trying to rub one out at the park.
Oh, man.
Think about the difference in that.
The imagery.
She's 13.
Okay.
She might have a period. height. Breasts not fully formed. Pubescent. Hair not grown all the way in.
Man.
And this nigga go to a bar and buy a beer and get a drunk in the backseat of his car and leave her out there with $20 and say, hope you make it home. Like,
The imagery.
this, that could be his Saturday night in LA.
So
And he's up in your daughter's bed.
Yeah.
With his shirt off and shit. Frolicking.
You call it art.
On social. Frolicking. On social media. Mean. Somebody should have kicked the door in and beat that fucking ass.
Jaguar claims she personally attempted to intervene by encouraging distance from what she considered dangerous influences and advocating for safer paths forward. According to her, those efforts were blocked by people who prioritized money, power, and public image over Bratcher's well-being. She consistently returns to one conclusion: none of this was accidental.
As far as Will Smith is concerned, until he does right by all of those children that were harmed and corrupted while in his care, children that grew up to be men, boys like Bashir Gray, August Alsina, your own son. Like, your own son. Do people forget about that voice clip that I played from Brother Belial?
Hey.
Has anybody seen Belial?
Come on.
I asked him, didn't I ask for him last year?
Come on.
Where's Belial? Is he missing with Cuba? Have they all moved to Bali with Russell Simmons and Kevin Love?
Jaguar then points to what she describes as recurring patterns. She highlights young men who were closely connected to Will Smith and later exhibited dramatic personality changes. She references moments captured on camera, sudden public breakdowns, emotional instability, and erratic behavior. In her view, these are not isolated incidents, but classic warning signs of trauma. She has said that what troubles her most about Bratcher Gray is her belief that he is still seeking validation from the very system that allegedly caused him harm.
Want to know the thing that bothers me most about Bashir Gray? I actually think he's doing all of this so they'll take him back in the club. And they're not. They're going to keep gaslighting you and playing with you, promising you one thing or another. Not now, not now. Just next year's going to be your time. You know, you need to get yourself out there. You need to.
Jack, I have a question. So, we speak about, you dealing with the
What happened to
Illuminati
Bashir
and having
Gray
tides and things
should
like
have
that
all
and
of
denouncing
America
it. Can you tell me
outrage?
one
They
of the
watched that
things
kid
that they
become a
that they
star.
promised you? That
And
would
now
happen?
they're watching him become a fallen one, like a comet speeding. How long before he decides it's time to cash out now? How long? Because the one thing I will say is this. Anything happens to that young man, it better not nobody say a word to me. For years, I've been yelling. Salute to Moran Morelli. He actually talked about it the other day. Talked about how troubling. And, the one reason that I can appreciate Murad's commentary is because he's also an essay survivor. So he's a young man who went through these things. He knows what the signs look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can see.
Now, as Diddy faces serious charges and sits behind bars for alleged crimes, public scrutiny has widened. People are no longer focusing solely on him, but are examining everyone who maintained close relationships with him over the decades. Jada Pinkett Smith's name continues to surface in these conversations. According to Gene Deal, one reason her name keeps appearing is the alleged possibility that Will and Jada could appear on tapes Diddy reportedly recorded during his infamous freak-offs.
Too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists. Okay. I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor cap was sponsored by Johnson and Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and they fuck, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on coke, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a whore. You're a bigger whore than they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bashir conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about is